Morning, sir. Good morning.
Who will signal us?
Director Italy will just coordinate.
Yeah. We are ready? We are ready? Okay. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press. With me here are leaders of the Orange Democratic Movement. We have our MP for Mathare, Honorable Loch. We have our MP for Nyando, Honorable Jared Okelo. We have the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kisumu, the leadership of the County Assembly of the Kisumu, Majority Leader and the Whip, several members of the county assemblies, party officials from across the counties. And I also have apologies of Professor Peter Nyang'nyong, Governor of Kisumu, who is currently in Nairobi on a different assignment. And we'd like to make a statement on yesterday's very callous remarks by Governor of Nyeri, Mutahi Kahiga. We are still in very, very deep mourning of our leader, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, and we have been forced out of mourning to come and address this matter. So yesterday's remarks by Governor of Nyeri County, Dr. Mutahi Kahiga, at a funeral in Kieni constituency in his county, appearing to celebrate the death of our party leader, the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga, are not only nefarious, but unbelievable and utterly despicable from a man calling himself a leader. The late Raila Odinga put his life in the line to fight for the freedoms that Kenyans enjoy today, spending nights in detention, to be among the gallant sons and daughters of the soil who championed the second liberation of our country and the selfless sacrifice for our nation is a clear indicator that he had the country's interests at heart. During his time, the late Odinga believed in a Kenya where everyone enjoyed the freedom of speech and democracy and fought for stronger devolution, equity and equality for all, regardless of where you come from, and a united Kenya. For someone of Governor Kahiga's caliber, who's a beneficiary of Raila's sweat, scars, and tears, to make such derogatory remarks of a man who spent most of his life fighting for change in this country is disgraceful and shameful. It is worth noting that the entire Western Kenya region that he decries of benefiting from government resources and development has nothing compared to what his region has benefited from since Kenya became independent. It is bad manners, uncouth, and unacceptable for Mr. Kahiga to make such remarks. In fact, coming from someone who occupies a respectable position of the Vice Chairman of the Council of Governors, it is utterly absurd and astonishing. We therefore demand that he immediately resigns from this position with immediate effect, and the COG cannot have a loose-mouth, reckless, primitive and irresponsible person holding such a position. He's a disgrace to the country and to the people of Nyeri County. And I would like to add that the very, very position that Kahiga holds as governor of Nyeri is a creation of the fight of Raila Odinga. And we know that there is politicians like Kahiga who in the life of Raila Odinga have used him as a bogeyman to scale their own political heights there. But it is shocking that they continue to make Raila a bogeyman in his death. And what I know is that Kahiga does not speak for himself. Kahiga is the spokesperson of Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua mocked Raila's illness and asked whether he was a virus and whether Kalonzo was a bacteria. To date, Rigathi Gachagua is yet to mourn Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga, who braved political tensions to go and mourn his brother, the late Nderitu Gachagua. And therefore, we note now that anyone who associates with Gachagua and his ilk like Kahiga cannot be our friend. The line is drawn. Any person who associates with Gachagua, Kahiga, they cannot be our friends. Whether they are in our party or outside our party. Kahiga has drawn the line. To mock, he has crossed the Rubicon. We have crossed that line now. To mock Raila Odinga in his death, to mock him in his life, we could respond. But to mock him in his death, any person who associates with Gachagua, with Kahiga, with that lot, can never, ever be our friend. Because the principle is, the enemy, the friend of your enemy is your enemy. This morning at 9 o'clock, we have a meeting of the Council of Governors. And I, as the chairperson of the party, will be moving a motion to remove Kahiga as the vice chairman of the Council of Governors. He can lead in his village, but he cannot lead us at a national level. I want to ask my colleagues, Anthony and Jared, and the leadership of the Assembly, if they have something to add.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are shocked beyond words by the reckless statements as advanced by Kahiga. We all know that he revels in death because he's a beneficiary of death. Without the death of Dr. Gakuru, Kahiga would be nobody and would be nothing. So anything touching on death, he seems to take great pleasure out of. But as a community, we just want to remind him, because his memory is so short, that we have been out of government since time immemorial, but we've always been here. The only government that has given us full recognition is this of President William Samoei Ruto. And as my chair has ably said, the line has been drawn. We will not seek any friendship with Gachagua and his surrogates, because again, we are privy to a meeting that was held yesterday between Gachagua, Kahiga, and some of their ilk that came up with the deliberations to have that statement made as it was. As a community, we have absolutely no problem with our Kikuyu brothers and sisters. We marry them, we work with them, we associate with them. We've got friends all across the Mount Kenya region. But Kahiga and Gachagua, as we go into our next elections, Baba put us into this government, and we have to make that very clear. And this government, we shall stay. Anybody harboring any ambition of approaching us, time is long gone. We are not ready for any further association, any further negotiation, but with this government. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I also want to join my friends in condemning the words of Governor Kahiga as primitive and uncalled for. You will recall that Gachagua, and I agree with our governor here when he says that the owner of this dog, and permit me for using that word, is Rigathi Gachagua himself. So we must place this filth at the doorsteps of Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. You will recall that Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, during the time that he was deputy president, made it his sole purpose to pursue Raila Odinga, saying that he would encircle State House and make sure that Raila does not step into State House. He has continued to pursue Raila in his death. This we will not accept. We will not accept this because Governor Rigathi Gachagua himself was a beneficiary. The Constitution 2010, in which he stepped in as deputy president, was as a result of the sweat and blood of Raila Amolo Odinga. Same to the governor of Nyeri County. So we are saying here today that the president and the people of Nyanza should be proud. They should not be made to feel ashamed for any affirmative action that is extended to the people of any region. the people of a particular region who have benefited over the years as a result of skewed application of resources should allow the constitution, which is under Article 10, to benefit and to be equalized. These are principles, foundational principles under the constitution. They talk about the question of equity, they talk about the question of equalization and affirmative action. So whatever it is that the people of this region and the people of any other region benefit from as a result of trying to be equalized is not something that people should be ashamed of. And to use this to try to mock a person who has suffered for this country at a time that he has died is extreme. We condemn it in the strongest possible terms.
Okay, Speaker.
I want to associate myself completely with the remarks that were made. I want to condemn in the strongest terms possible the reckless statement by Governor Kahiga. And I want to say that not even the words alone, but the people who are supporting Kahiga and his team, clapping and cheering on his statements, that is very reckless. I want to say that I want to associate this one to somebody who talked about a farmer who died, and the baboons and the monkeys were clapping and cheering that finally the person who had been chasing us away from the farm is dead. Please, watch your statements. Very soon you will understand that the same farmer that you are cheering that is dead is the person who prepared or planted the crops that you are going to benefit from. Kahiga, you are a beneficiary of devolution. And not a single Kenyan do not understand that the pioneer of devolution is Raila Odinga. So you should be the last person to be happy or to cheer when we have lost Raila Odinga, who is the father of devolution. I call upon our friends in Mount Kenya, please, desist from associating yourselves with the likes of Gachagua and the likes of Kahiga. You are going to be misled. You are going to be misled, and I want to stand with our chairperson that we call upon the Council of Governors that please support that motion. Support that motion. We do not want Kahiga to be the deputy vice chair of the Council of Governors. You cannot be misleading the country and still you purport to be leading us in the Council of Governors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Majority leader?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency and members of the press. As the chair of ODM in this, as the vice chair of ODM in this region, I want to associate my sentiments with the statements made by my chair, Governor Gladys Wanga, and the colleagues, members of parliament. I want to say that as ODM members in this region, we want to urge our members to stay calm as we approach this issue in a sober mind. We heard yesterday that Gachagua and his team were supposed to pay homage to the home of Raila Odinga. We urge Gachagua, never, never, don't step in Bondo. Don't step in Bondo, as your statements are not very, very friendly to us as ODM. Otherwise, I urge our members to stay calm as we approach this issue in a sober mind. Otherwise, thank you and thank you very much.
Question?
Thank you very much.
So there's one.
No, that is not for discussion today. The ODM will give their way forward and everything after the relevant organs have met. So that's not for discussion today. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Tonango, intie, to,